Hey everyone, I'm Tsunami. Welcome to my new video. This video is a bit different. Perhaps you remember my goals for this year. One of my goals was to paint big acrylic paintings again. This summer I started 3 paintings. The first I haven't finished yet. I was bored and had new ideas. The second is an old one. I already sketched it on a gesso board 2 years ago or so. Now I used leftover paints from the first painting for my ground layer. But I wasn't inspired enough from it to start with the painting. Then I took another canvas and used a marker to sketch a new idea on it. In this video, you can watch the process of this painting. My thoughts about working with acrylics, what it means to me, about my working flow if I'm working with acrylics, and perhaps more. For this painting, I mostly used the System 3 acrylic paints from De La Rone. I've used them for years now and they never disappointed me. I also use other acrylic paints from Golden or the Royal Talens Amsterdam series, also Winsor & Newton, a lot of different brands. On the day I started with this canvas, I had no cam with me in my studio. This was a very spontaneous thing. All I did is sketching my idea and using watered down yellow paint to make my first layer. This is how I usually start. I never paint on white canvas. I think the colors look always different. And I like that the background color can shine through your next layer if you like. But most of the time your background layer will be completely covered in the end because acrylic paint is an opaque medium. You can work in many layers and you have always the possibility to change your mind and overpaint what you already have. But you are also able to layer with washes of paint so you can create nice effects. Before I started with YouTube, I almost exclusively painted with acrylics. I painted a lot of bigger paintings on canvases or gesso boards, also on skateboards and everything I found what needed a bit more color. As I started with YouTube, in my first videos I always painted with acrylics, but because I love to go into details with this medium, the size of my project became smaller because I thought it takes too long for a YouTube video. There's also the editing, the voiceover. Yes, I also had more complicated projects like painting a ukulele. Perhaps you watched this video and remember it. But then I decided to try other medias which are easier to use for a YouTube video. And then I discovered watercolors and gouache and all the other wonderful medias I love to use right now. This was a blessing. It was so good to find new ways to express myself, more ways to get the pictures in my head onto a paper. Also, my style developed, and to be honest, I also developed with you, my audience, together. I worked on ideas which you also could enjoy, and then these little cute creatures came to life. I remember one of my first watercolor videos. I redrew one of my old sketches, which I found in an old sketchbook of mine. It was this earthy tree spirit, and I loved it so much, and you liked it as well. And then I more and more got into the spirit thing. This opened a new creative world for me. This always happens. If I'm obsessed with something new, I have phases, like a hyper focus on something new until my flow brings me to the next thing. These phases can take years, some take only months or less long. In this case, it took over 1 year, and now I'm feeling the new flow, and it mostly happens hand in hand with an art block. I was blocked in the last 2 months, I think. Then I was bored from my own art, tried new things, medias, and then some things change again. Sometimes a complete change happens, and sometimes it's a soft flow in a new direction. I think I'm on kind of the second example right now. I painted on this piece on 3 days for a few hours each. This is fast, I think. I had paintings before which took weeks to finish. In this one, my main colors were lemon yellow, magenta, and Prussian blue. I also used white and a tiny bit of black. I like to pick 3 colors for my work, excluding the white and the black. So I have mostly a palette of 5 colors, or only 4 if I don't use a black. I like to pick kind of a yellow, kind of a red, and kind of a blue for my palette, so I can mix all my colors out of it. Very rarely I'm using other palettes with greens and browns, but almost never. Same in my watercolor and gouache paintings or in every other drawing. What I found out while I watched the video here is I have a funny painting face. I never watched myself painting very concentrated before. This is something new for me. This painting is a step forward in the right direction. I will do this more often again. I missed painting with acrylics a lot, and I also missed working on bigger canvases. Because I love it so much, I will do this here and there again, and I will take you with me. Please tell me in the comments if you like to watch videos like this. I love to test art supplies for us. I love to paint with watercolors and all the other awesome medias, but I also love doing this. Perhaps I should do a little poll about the videos you like most to watch. We have a lot more people here in this community since I asked you last time. With this video, I also released this little poll in my community tab on my channel. Perhaps you would like to vote as well. This would be awesome, and it would help me to get to know you all better, to create content you enjoy to watch. Thank you so much for your help. Meanwhile, my mushrooms get purple dots. These dots took a long time. First, I used a darker violet and then a lighter tone on top, so it created this nice effect. I love if the painting seems to move somehow. I also paint the sides of the canvas, so you don't need a frame for the painting. The person who owns this piece someday don't have to frame it. Slowly I worked on the deepness of the painting. These yellow gloomy mushroom heads or flying dots were so much fun. I love to paint finishing details. In the end, the face was too empty. I knew there had to be more, perhaps eyes or hair or any other nice things. So this is what I did. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me painting with acrylics. Please don't forget to vote on the poll, this would be nice. And please give this video a like and subscribe. Also click the bell to support my channel. Thank you so much for this. Enjoy the close-ups of the painting and have an awesome week, my friends. See you next time. Your Tsunani.